You check the mail, and there it is. Getting an unexpected letter from the IRS demanding payment creates an immediate pit in your stomach. Most people panic. They picture an aggressive strike team freezing their bank accounts and garnishing their paychecks by tomorrow morning. But that is not how the system actually works. The IRS is a massive, slow-moving bureaucracy. It does not act on a whim. Every move it makes is governed by strict legal procedures and rigid timelines. This graphic shows the automated collection pipeline. If you are holding a CP500 series notice, you have officially entered this machine. The entire IRS collection system operates on a single trade-off: time versus control. If you engage with them voluntarily, you preserve your options and keep control of your assets. If you ignore the letters, you guarantee that total control shifts directly to the IRS. Knowing exactly where you sit on this timeline is the only way to retain your power and stop enforced collections before they start. Take a look at this progression flowchart. The timeline always starts right here with the CP501. This is your initial bill. Leave it unpaid, and the sequence triggers. If the IRS hears nothing, they send the CP501. This is just a first reminder. It is not an enforcement action, and they are not seizing your property today. But sitting at this stage has a silent cost. You're being charged a 0.5% failure to pay penalty every single month, on top of daily compounding interest. Tossing this notice in a desk drawer does not buy you free time to figure out your finances. You are simply trading a few weeks of psychological comfort for a permanently larger tax debt. If you continue to stay silent, you trigger the CP503 notice. Read the text carefully, and you will notice the language is much sharper. The automated system has now flagged your account as non-responsive. The urgency is escalating. This is where a specific new threat enters the picture: the increased likelihood of a notice of federal tax lien. A tax lien is a public claim against everything you own. Once filed, it severely damages your ability to secure a loan, refinance a mortgage, or open a line of credit. The CP503 is your final opportunity to resolve the debt quietly before the IRS begins preparing legally enforced public actions. Look at the flowchart now. We've hit the red zone. The CP504 is the threshold where the IRS officially declares its intent to seize your assets. That sounds terrifying, but at the exact moment this notice is issued, the IRS is primarily authorizing the seizure of your state tax refund. Most articles blur this fact, making people think a wage garnishment or bank levy is happening tomorrow. That is false. Before they can touch your wages or clean out your bank accounts, the law requires them to send one more letter, the LT11, or Letter 1058. That final notice gives you a strict 30-day window to exercise your collection due process rights and legally challenge the levy. There is one other major threshold to watch for here. If your total debt crosses $66,000, your account becomes seriously delinquent, and the State Department can legally revoke your passport. A CP504 authorizes state-level asset seizure, but making your move before that final 30-day LT11 window closes is what actually protects your paycheck. This matrix compares voluntary versus enforced action. Option 1, installment agreements halt levies, but require cash flow while interest accrues. Option 2, CNC status pauses collections for legitimate hardship. The trade-off? Debt grows. Option 3, offer and compromise settles debt for less. Qualifications are incredibly strict, requiring an invasive mathematical evaluation of your assets, and home equity disqualifies most immediately. Option 4 is the collection due process appeal. This legally halts collections, letting you challenge actions, but only within a strict 30-day window. Your current liquidity and asset reality will dictate which of these paths make sense, but all 4 options require you to initiate the process. Let's map your situation to your next step. If cash-strapped, gather financial proof today to apply for hardship. If disputing the amount, dig up 1099s and file an appeal before the 30-day clock expires. If your debt exceeds $20,000, bring in a tax attorney. A professional shields you from IRS contact, runs the complex asset math, and ensures you don't miss a fatal legal deadline. Holding a CP503 or CP504 notice is not the end. It's simply a prompt to choose a resolution path. Make the call and